Coming up on the Poke Report, basketball season is officially underway for both the men and women's team.
And GIA stays active as it hosts the Cowboys wrestling season opener.
Lastly, Zane Flores makes his return against KU as the Cowboys look for their first conference win in 2 years. All that and more coming up. The Poke Report starts now.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the Poke Report. I'm Peyton Schmidt.
And I'm Zach Berger. Thanks for joining us today. We are here inside historic Gallagher-Iba Arena to honor the start of both the basketball and wrestling season.
That's right, Zach, but before we can continue on with our show, we have to send yet another thank you to KU for hosting us, and what a fun trip that was.
It was great. The campus was pretty, the studio was sick to get to record in, and everyone there was just so nice.
That's right, but football is in a bye week, which gives us the opportunity to talk about other sports. Both men's and women's basketball has officially began their season, and Oral Roberts came in on Tuesday to take on the Cowboys, and Luke Mazza has that story.
Year 2 of Steve Lutz and the Oklahoma State Cowboys is underway as they hosted Oral Roberts on Tuesday night. The Cowboys were without top projected scorers Isaiah Coleman and Anthony Roy, meaning it had to rely on other players such as Christian Coleman, who had a double-double and is the 10th player in OSU history to reach that mark in his debut game for the Cowboys.
Words can't even explain it. I mean, it just means a lot to me because I worked so hard on my game and I worked so hard to get to this position. Obviously, you know my story, so I mean, it means a lot to me, for sure. I'm going to cherish this well. I ain't trying to stop here. I'm trying to keep going.
But the in-state opponent, Oral Roberts, wasn't going to go down without a fight. It was 50-46 in the first half, as Connor Dowd, the former OSU Cowboy, had a game-high and career-high 7 blocks, 6 of which coming in the first half. But any momentum Oral Roberts built in the first half, OSU shut it down quickly in the second. Lutz's message to the team was simple at the break. Defense needs to be at the highest priority, and the team answered in the biggest way.
I've said it over and over to you guys. This team offensively, I think, is going to be okay. But our biggest area for growth is defensively, and obviously saw that tonight.
And offensively, Victorious Miller, the LSU transfer and former top 100 high school recruit, flashed his potential, scoring a career and game-high 21 points. It was a 95-71 win for the Cowboys and a good start for Steve Lutz in his second year here at OSU. But it will have to be a quick turnaround as the Cowboys host Texas A&M on Sunday in Gallagher-Iba Arena.
It was a great effort in the second half for the OSU Cowboys against Oral Roberts here in Stillwater on Tuesday, but Texas A&M is coming to town on Sunday, and Steve Lutz wants to see improvement on the defensive end for the Cowboys to win that game.
I've said it over and over to you guys. This team offensively, I think, is going to be okay. But our biggest area for growth is defensively, and obviously saw that tonight.
Thanks for that, Luke. The Cowboys host the Aggies at 1 p.m. on Sunday, and it is an orange out, so be sure to be there.
Now, I don't know about you, Peyton, but here too, the Steve Lutz era, I'm excited to see what they can do.
I know, right? And hopefully they can take after the women's success with J.C. Hoyt on that side of basketball.
Yeah, Coach Hoyt and the Cowgirls coming off a year of tough loss in the tournament, but did make the tournament, which was a big deal, and they're hoping to build off that success from last season. Number 22 ranked Cowgirls also kicked off their year, and Landry Rose has the recap of their Game 1.
The Oklahoma State Cowgirls opened their season with a statement win. The starting lineup: Whiting, Gray, Alcott, Timmer, and Hurd. The Cowgirls moved the ball efficiently, finding the open looks and connecting from deep to build momentum right out of the gate. Oklahoma State's offense looks confident and balanced, with multiple players contributing on the perimeter and paint. The team's spacing and tempo keep New Orleans on its heels throughout the first half. Timmer has been shooting lights out from the perimeter, draining 3 after 3 with quick release and a smooth form. Her confidence behind the arc spreads to the rest of the team, opening driving lanes and forcing the defense to extend out. By halftime, she's already in double figures, leading the charge for the Cowgirls offense. Defensively, the Cowgirls bring steady pressure, forcing turnovers and limiting second chance opportunities. Their rebounding leads to transition points, including an and-one finish from Acker just before halftime. In the second half, Oklahoma State continues to control every phase of the game, pushing the pace, sharing the ball, and maintaining focus on both ends. Giardi heats up late, knocking down a series of threes to close out the night. The final score, Oklahoma State 109, New Orleans 48. Game highlights a dominant performance in the season opener. It's an early sign of confidence of the team playing with confidence, chemistry, and depth. Oklahoma State improves to 1-0 and looks to carry this energy forward as non-conference play continues later this week in Stillwater.
Thanks for that, Landry. Hopefully the Cowgirls can keep that success rolling all season long. Now, Peyton, obviously we talked about men's and women's basketball, but GIA is also host to the historic wrestling program.
That's right, Zach, and that program has been dominant for such a long time, and they're looking to build upon that this season, and they actually have their first duel of the season tonight. Cole Gildenzoff has a preview of what that duel has in store.
The Oklahoma State Cowboy wrestling team opened season 2 of the David Taylor era on Friday night against the number 19 Stanford. The two did not meet in Coach Taylor's inaugural season. However, the Cowboys own a 3-0 advantage all-time over the Cardinal. Coach Taylor's Cowboys are off to a hot start after transfers Casey Swiderski and Zac Ryder both won their opening bouts of the season at the NWCA All-Star Classic against top 10 foes.
Both Casey and Zac really haven't competed in a long time. You know, I didn't really realize this, but Casey said, hey, that's the first match I've wrestled since the NCAA tournament a year and a half ago.
The Cowboys return guys like NCAA finalist Troy Spratley and NCAA qualifiers Connor Doucette and T. Travis, but Coach Taylor is excited about these incoming freshmen.
Just making a lot of progress. You know, I think these kids are coming out of high school. I mean, they're pretty talented, skilled, and starting to put things together pretty quickly. And it is a long season. But I know a lot of guys are really hungry to get out there and wrestle.
After a 13-1 season last year, David Taylor's Cowboys aim to get off on the right foot against a top 20 team in the country that is extremely talented. The Cowboys have 5 wrestlers ranked inside the top 10, including Spratley, Richard Figueroa II, Casey Swiderski, Zac Ryder, and Connor Doucette. The Cowboys look to nab their 26th straight season opening win on Friday night in GIA and hopefully roll that momentum into a 35th team national title. For all of your Cowboy wrestling coverage, we've got you right here. For the Poke Report, I'm Cole Gildenzoff.
Thanks for that, Cole. The Cowboys have high expectations for this season, but they do have the talent to back that up. And Zach, what are your thoughts on David Taylor's second season as head coach?
Oh, I think it's going to be great. I mean, the culture he's instilled here already just 1 year in is top tier. And with the transfers he brought in, there's sure to be a scary team this season. Well, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at how Cowboy football did over in Lawrence, Kansas.
We're going to bring in our Big 12 analyst, Connor Fuchsa. Don't go anywhere.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars. Like fresh packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza.
Introducing Lincoln Black Label at Diffie Ford Lincoln. Designed to impress those with impeccable taste, Lincoln Black Label features a collection of interior themes and a host of exclusive membership privileges, inspired by attention to detail and a love of automobiles. With Lincoln Black Label, you'll enjoy an extended premium maintenance plan that covers wear items or even remote vehicle delivery. Lincoln Black Label isn't about luxury ownership, it's about membership. Lincoln Black Label, exclusively at Diffie.
Welcome back into the Poke Report, and thanks for sticking with us through that break. Now, as we know, Cowboy football traveled up to Lawrence, Kansas to take on the Jayhawks.
Yeah, Jayhawks looking to bounce back after a tough loss to K-State for their homecoming game, while interim defensive coordinator for the Pokes, Clint Bowen, was having a homecoming of his own. Our very own Madison Queen has a breakdown of how that game went on Saturday.
Last week, the Cowboys traveled to Lawrence, Kansas to face the Kansas Jayhawks. In search for their first conference win, Oklahoma State was happy to have Zane Flores return as quarterback after being out due to injury. Zane Flores scored his first passing touchdown of his career on the Cowboys' opening drive and threw for 235 yards. The Cowboys' defense stepped up in the first half, holding the Jayhawks to only 10 points. Unfortunately for OSU, Kansas made halftime adjustments that allowed their offense to make big plays and get in the end zone. Oklahoma State interim head coach Doug Meacham was disappointed after his team fell short of the win, but was also proud of how his players competed. He hopes to find more consistency and learn from mistakes in preparation for their next game.
And what we have to do a better job of is when things don't occur the way we want them to, we have to put it to bed and we have to go stack good plays. We have to stack good plays, and we're a little inconsistent there. We'll do something pretty good, and then we'll follow it up with something not so good, almost like immediately. So, and that was kind of the story of the day. So, more consistent, and at the same time, you know, with all that being said, I did see guys compete, which I know that's at some point you get tired of hearing that part without a win, but they are competing, playing hard, morale's good, and hopefully we can take this open day, get healthy, reload, and get ready to play K-State.
In the second quarter, the Jayhawks were able to block a field goal. Head coach Lance Leipold says this gave his team the momentum they needed to get through the game.
The block field goal, I think it was huge. Missing. They missed 2 field goal attempts. The block, I think, gave us a spark of, obviously momentum and excitement and energy that we made the play, made the stop, and otherwise, we hadn't really slowed them down a lot and those things, and we gave it with us getting the ball coming out, and that was important as well.
Next week, the Cowboys return to Boone Pickens Stadium after nearly a month of being away or on a bye. They host the Kansas State Wildcats in hopes of getting their first conference win. The Cowboys continue to put in the work and get healthy in preparation to face the Wildcats. The bye week could be beneficial to their performance on the field. Next week, if OSU gets the win, it'll be their first Big 12 win in nearly 2 years. For the Poke Report, I'm Madison Queen.
Thanks for that, Madison. Offense looked better with the return of Zane Flores. Now, Peyton, David Booth Memorial, it was nice. It was a cool time.
It was super nice, and the people were fun. The game was a lot better for Cowboy football than the previous weeks, but we weren't the only ones there. We had quite a few people travel with us, and Marcus got the opportunity to go down into their tailgating environment, and, well, here's how that looked.
Hello, my name is Marcus Martin. Today we are at Lawrence, Kansas at KU. And today we're going to the tailgates and asking KU fans what is their favorite tradition and their favorite food. I'm here with Jonah,
Brandon, Hunter,
Murphy,
Johnny,
tailgate. What's your favorite experience at a tailgate?
I mean, you feel connected with like everybody.
Probably the food. I like getting together with friends and family and drinking some good beers.
I'd say definitely Busch Light. We have lots of Busch Light here.
Well, we got good food, barbecue, whatever it may be.
I'd say the environment and all the fun people hanging out.
What's your favorite food to eat?
Tailgating, me personally, I'm more like on days like today where it's so cold, probably chili, or I'd say probably chicken wings, honestly.
Just really good burger.
Love a good hot dog with brats with just mustard on it, a little sauerkraut, all this stuff.
Probably the burger. Well, I'd have to say Skimmers.
I'd say a nice burger or a hot dog.
Thanks for that, Marcus. The tailgate sure did look fun, but I'm not sure that they can compete with the ones here at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I agree, but I will say uniqueness score pretty high up. You could see right into the stadium. It was pretty cool. But hey, as we inch closer towards the end of the college football season, conference championships hopes and odds get even more tight. Let's go now to our very own Connor Fuchsa, who breaks down some Big 12 games from last week and our first ever college football playoff poll.
Welcome into the Big 12 Roundup. I'm Connor Fuchsa, here to tell you everything you need to know about Big 12 football. Now this week we're going to do things a little different. Every week I usually just recap last week's big Big 12 games. But this week we're going to recap one of the biggest games, go through a couple others, and then we're going to talk about the college football playoff scenarios. Because now that the first ever college football playoff rankings for this season have come out, we got to talk about it. But let's start off with the recap. Let's go to the scoreboard real quick, hit a couple games. Arizona State, they find a way to win. They got no Jordan Tyson. They got no Sam Levitt, but they got no problem. They beat the Cyclones. They're upset with their backup quarterback Sims. They get a much-needed win to keep any chance of the playoffs in the Big 12 championship hopes alive. For the Cyclones, I mean, this season's just gone down, down, down. They started off 5-0 with that big win against Kansas State week 1. They were looking like maybe the Big 12 title favorites there for a minute. Now they've lost 4 straight. Season's practically over for the Cyclones and a tough one for the Iowa State fans. Now, next game I want to hit on, that West Virginia-Houston game. Houston coming into this game 6-1, looking amazing, already bowl eligible, the big surprise of the Big 12 this year. But they lose this one. They get upset by the West Virginia team who'd lost 5 straight games and was starting a quarterback who hadn't started a game for them this season, and Scotty Fox Jr. But Fox Jr. had himself a day, made his name known. 3 total touchdowns, helped the Mountaineers get their first win in the last 6 games. Houston, who was tied for second in the Big 12, had a really good chance to end up in Arlington. Now is their work cut out for them to make that Big 12 championship game as they're tied for 4th place. Now, the last game I want to hit on is the biggest game of the weekend. It was the college game day. It was Utah versus Cincinnati. It was the biggest game of the weekend, but it was not a good game and it was not close. Utah handled this one from the opening kickoff. They win this one 45-14. They get their quarterback Devin Dampier back. I mean, they loved their freshman quarterback a week ago that dominated Colorado, but they're happy to have Dampier back in there. 213 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 78 rushing yards. Amazing game for Dampier, but he had a great supporting cast. I mean, Ryan Davis, 8 catches, 132 yards and a touchdown. Wayshawn Parker, 17 carries, 104 yards and a touchdown. And the defense, the defense has been the story of Utah all year long. They get an interception, they force 2 fumbles and recover 2 fumbles. And that interception's huge because Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback of Cincinnati, is not a quarterback that turns over the ball very often. He is a guy that had 1 interception. He was a 20 touchdown to 1 interception ratio coming into this game. They held him to 1 passing touchdown and 1 interception. That's a great defensive performance for Utah. For Cincinnati, a lot of people are going to write them off after this. They shouldn't. This was their first loss in conference play this year. They had 7 straight wins coming into this one. The season is definitely not done for the Bearcats, but they've got some clear flaws that they got to work out if they want a chance to make it to Arlington. So now let's talk about that. The path to Arlington and the path to the college football playoff. So the first college football playoff ranking of the year just came out a couple of days ago. And bye-bye AP poll. All we care about is the college football poll now. And they've got BYU at 7, Texas Tech at 8, Utah at 13. So there's 3 Big 12 teams in there. Now, the top 12 teams make it to the college football playoff, but not the top 12 overall rating because it'll be the top 10 teams, currently how it looks, the top 10 teams, and then the best team from the ACC and the best team from the Group 5, because currently the ACC does not have a team inside that top 12. So right now, BYU and Texas Tech would be in, and Utah is right on the outside looking in. So let's go through the couple of scenarios for these teams. For BYU, it's simple. You win out, you're in. You've got Texas Tech this weekend, huge matchup that they have to win. If they win that Tech game, even if they go and lose the Big 12 championship game in a month, I think there's no question they are in the college football playoffs. They've got TCU, Cincy, and UCF after that Tech game. That Cincy game, again, could still be a one that they need that win. But as long as they can handle business, even outside of the Tech game, I think they're fine. But if they win the Tech game, they're pretty much confirmed into the playoffs per no crazy upset. For Texas Tech, it's pretty similar. You got BYU this weekend. You beat BYU. You handle business against UCF and West Virginia. I don't even think it necessarily matters what happens in the Big 12 championship game. If they lose that game and have 2 losses, I still think a 2-loss Tech team gets in. So for BYU and Tech, it's simple. Basically, win this game against each other and then win out, and it doesn't matter what happens in Arlington. Now, if you lose this one, you're going to have to win in Arlington. You're going to have to make it to the Big 12 championship, and you're probably going to have to win that one if you want to find your way into the college football playoff. For BYU, maybe not. They could probably survive with a loss to Tech and a loss in the Big 12 championship as long as they beat Cincinnati, but it would get interesting there. If you're a BYU fan, you just want the win here. But for the other teams that have a chance, Utah, it's hard. Unfortunately for them, the 2 teams they have lost to this year are BYU and Texas Tech, which are amazing losses, which is why they're rated so high. The problem is when it comes to trying to make that Big 12 championship game, they don't have the tiebreakers over either of the top 2 teams. So they're going to need Tech or BYU to end up with 3 losses in conference play, or they're going to need some crazy tiebreaker thing where there's like a 4-way tie for second place. So Utah's chances to make it to the Big 12 championship are a lot slimmer, and for that reason, I don't think if they don't make it there, I don't know if they're going to make it into the top 10 overall all seeds. They're right now at 13. They beat Baylor, they beat K-State, they beat Kansas, and if they don't play in the Big 12 championship, there's a chance they move up 3 spots with those 3 wins with all the other chaos that goes on. But I feel like for them to jump someone, it would have to be a Tech or a BYU, and I don't see the committee putting them over a Tech or BYU when they have the head-to-head victories over Utah. So it's going to be a lot harder for Utah, but if they can somehow get into a scenario where Tech loses this BYU game and then Cincinnati loses to BYU and there's like a 4-way tie for second place in the Big 12, the tiebreaker could go to Utah and they could find their way playing in Arlington. So right now, it's crazy to say, but Utah, you're fans of BYU. You need them to win out, and that'll work great for your chances to make the playoffs. For Cincinnati and Houston, they're 2 teams that weren't ranked in the college football playoff poll, but they're teams that are still worthy of mentioning. Cincinnati only one conference loss. If Tech loses to BYU, currently Cincinnati would be the lone second-place team in the Big 12 Conference, and they would be going to Arlington per no losses moving forward in their schedule. But obviously, like I said, they do have to face BYU themselves. And as for Houston, if they win out, they have 2 losses, so they would also be in that weird 4-way tie scenario. If Cincy loses, Tech loses, with Utah and Houston, it's a lot of math to figure out who currently would be the tiebreaker and a lot of different scenarios, but Houston would have a chance to end up in Arlington. So basically, for BYU, Tech, you win out, you're in. Utah, that may be true, maybe isn't. Or for Cincy, Houston, you got to fight your way to Arlington for a chance to make it to the college football playoffs. But for now, that's all we got for the Big 12 Roundup. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for that, Connor. Sure looks like anyone at the top of the Big 12 can compete with anyone in the country.
Yeah, and with those initial rankings, it looks like the Big 12 has the potential to be a 2-bid league.
Well, we're going to take one more break, but when we come back, see how OSU cross country did at the Big 12 Championships.
And of course, we have the Pick'em segment. Stay with us.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars, like fresh-packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza. Introducing Lincoln Black Label at Diffie Ford Lincoln. Designed to impress those with impeccable taste, Lincoln Black Label features a collection of interior themes and a host of exclusive membership privileges, inspired by attention to detail and a love of automobiles. With Lincoln Black Label, you'll enjoy an extended premium maintenance plan that covers wear items or even remote vehicle delivery. Lincoln Black Label isn't about luxury ownership, it's about membership. Lincoln Black Label, exclusively at Diffie.
Welcome back into the Poke Report. Thanks for sticking with us. Now, football wasn't the only sport happening in Lawrence over the weekend.
That's right, Zach. Cross country hosted their Big 12 championships in Lawrence, Kansas, and Marcus was everywhere this past week. He has the recap on that as well.
The Cowboys and Cowgirls cross country team takes a trip to Lawrence, Kansas to compete in the Big 12 championship. The men came into this meet ranked second in the Midwest region, behind Iowa State, while the women are ranked fourth. The Cowboys dominate the competition, winning their third Big 12 championship in the last 4 years. The Cowboys finished with 5 athletes in the top 7, plus another coming in the top 15. On the women's side, the Cowgirls tied third, but lost a tiebreaker 3-2 to West Virginia, placing the Cowgirls 4th place in the 6K. Iska Shagat came into the top 5, placing 4th, while Malene Ruta got in the top 10, placing 9th. Brian Massell finished 1st place in the 8K race, making him the 2nd ever athlete to capture back-to-back-to-back individual Big 12 championships.
Perhaps they fight in me so that I can get this. Like, everyone wants they to win the Big 12, so it's not like somebody aimed to take it. So I like to fight for it, but when I finish, I cross the line and I feel like I've accomplished something.
OSU cross-country coach Dave Smith felt that him and the Cowboys had a chip on their shoulder coming into this meet.
We talked about several times this year how kind of in the media that follows our sport, people forgot about it. So we weren't, around. I kept saying, hey, we had 3 guys on our team that have been top 10 at the NCAA championships twice each. There's no other team in the country has that. And I go, we haven't got anywhere.
The Cowboys and Cowgirls are looking forward to compete in the NCAA Midwest Regional Championship on November 14th in Stillwater. For the Poke Report, I'm Marcus Martin.
Thanks for that, Marcus. Hopefully we can bring 2 more national titles back home.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. I mean, the Cowboys ranked number 1 in the country. Cowgirls ranked number 9.
That's right. And now it's time for my favorite segment, the Pick'ems. And somehow I'm up 2 games. Whether that's right or wrong, we're going to stick with it.
I don't know. Last week was weird. It was another tough one for both of us. Hopefully I can bounce back and get back maybe in the lead tie. We'll see. But let's start off with a fun one. We got Memphis at Tulane. Friday night game happening tonight. What do you got?
I'm going to be honest. I haven't really been paying attention to these 2 teams quite as much as I have, say, the Big 12 and the SEC. So this one's kind of an oddball for me. I'm just going to throw out a random team and hope it works for me. But I'm going to go Memphis.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Listen, Tulane, at the beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be really, really good with them getting Reds Clapp from BYU, but it just kind of looked rough. They were rough versus UTSA last week, so I'll go Memphis. But moving on, let's go to the Big 12, Iowa State at TCU. TCU kind of a sneaky team, 6-2 this year. Hasn't played anyone really big in the Big 12, but Iowa State just continues to roll down that hill. Five straight losses? I think it's 5. So four. Okay, it's been rough. So even though TCU hasn't played anyone big, I'll go with the Horned Frogs at home.
Golly, Zach. It's like you read my mind. I'm kind of rolling on that same train as you. It almost seems similar to our downfall of football.
Oof. Don't put that on Iowa State. Don't do that.
I don't know. That's just, I have like a little bit of PTSD in my brain. Okay. I'm going to go the Horned Frogs as well.
All right, next up, moving over to the SEC, we have a ranked matchup. Number 3, Texas A&M going to number 23, Mizzou. That's a good one. 22, okay, my bad. It's that kind of ranked battle, though. SEC, what do you got on that one?
I got the Aggies. Yeah. They're just rolling it high, and I love what they got cooking up down there.
So. I think this will be a good game. Mizzou holds their own in these type of games, in my opinion, but I said it a couple weeks ago. Ever since I've picked against the Aggies once, they've proved me wrong time and time again. So I'll go A&M on the road and continue to roll.
Because you want to be like me.
Okay, easy. Now we got Oregon taking on Iowa, another ranked matchup. I'll go first in this one. I got to take Oregon. Iowa, I'll be honest, before this pick'em, I didn't even know they were ranked. So I'm going to go Oregon. They've held their own consistently, so I'll go the Ducks.
So I'm hoping we get some different answers for this next game.
Yeah.
I'm also going Oregon, and I don't know. I didn't know I was ranked now either, to be honest.
Okay, our last one, since OSU is on a bye, we have probably the game of the week. Number 7, BYU taking on number 8, Texas Tech in Lubbock. What do you got?
I got BYU. I think they're going to continue their undefeated streak. Granted, their running back is out. I don't know. I got the Cougs on this one.
I really like BYU. I really do. I think the running back being out does hurt them a lot. At home in Lubbock, Morton's back. He's been itching to get back from injury. I think this is the first real game Tech can prove themselves, and they know that, and I think they'll ball out at home. So I got the Red Raiders throwing up I don't know, did they 1, 2? It's the same? It's the same. I'll go Texas Tech, so we at least differ on one pick. Well, that's all we have this week from the Poke Report. Thanks for joining us for all things OSU sports. As always, I'm Zach Berger.
And I'm Peyton Schmidt, and stay with us for next week.
We'll see you later. Go Pokes.